Okay, so good morning. Let me know if audio and video is working correctly, because I had some issues here with YouTube before. So just type a 2 here in the chat box. We seem to be live right now, so that it's great. We had some issues with YouTube before. It put me on and put me off again. So just let me know where you're from and put a 2 in the chat box, so I know that you can see me right here and I'm not talking to myself. That would be absolutely great. Okay. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So I see a couple of people jumping on here. So just for me to know that this works, put a 2 in the chat box so I can see that YouTube is not messing up with me right now. Let's check on my channel. Okay, seem to be live right now, huh? Okay, perfect. So we seem to be live. Thank you, YouTube. Finally it works. Awesome to have you guys here. Good morning or good evening in your time zone, likely depending on where you're at this moment in time. The way this will work is I will go through a simple 7-step process that helps you get in the best shape of your life with as little taxation of your time and energy as humanly possible. So that's the goal with this live stream. It's here to help you achieve your results in the gym with as little of you involved as possible. So let's just check if this is working correctly here, because it gives me like warning signs again. Let's check. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can change this at this moment in time. So yeah, just let me know that everything is working correctly. If you don't hear my audio, if you don't hear if you don't see my screen, my video, just let me know here in the chat box, and I just continue rocking through. Yeah, we had some issues with the YouTube set up here before, but now it seems to be working correctly. So guys, yeah, I'm gonna show you a simple 7-step process. If you have any questions during the points, like, just ask them, put them in the chat box right there so I can respond to them. I'm here for about 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, it's like I'm about 10 minutes late just because we had some issues, and I see yes. So let me know that everything is working correctly. Hello, we are fucked. Nice to have you here. And yeah, I'm gonna go through a simple 7-step process. If you have any questions, let me know. Put it in the comment box right below. If you have any questions, just ask me there. I'll be online for now for about 20 to 30 minutes. So let's just jump straight into it. Number 1 point that you need to do, the number 1 step of the 7-step process, is you need to have SMART goals. So that's where most people are going wrong right in the beginning. And if you don't have goals, if you don't know what you want to achieve, and if these goals are not SMART, if these goals are not specific, measurable, attractive, realistic, and time bound, then frankly you're just shooting yourself in the foot. And why? Because there's a saying that if you don't know where you're sailing, no wind is favorable. So if you don't know what you want to achieve in your fitness and health goals, then frankly nothing is gonna help you. So you need to first know where you want to go, and this is step number 1. Set SMART goals, know exactly where you want to go. So losing weight, for example, is not a goal. Losing belly fat, for example, is not a goal. Instead, like losing 20 pounds in the next 90 days is a goal. You know, losing 20 pounds in the next 90 days to be better at your sport, you know, for example, if you do martial arts, is a great goal, because you already have your why in there. So really do this like this. Set a SMART goal, and don't get distracted by other endeavors. So because you need to know where you are sailing to, because if you don't know where you're sailing to, no wind is favorable. Okay, let me know if you have. Okay, perfect. So it's finally working. I can see here. So that's nice. That's awesome. The second point is, once you make sure that you know where you should be going with your goal setting, is to make sure that you have regular measurement intervals, which means you need to know the big picture of where you want to go in the next 30, 60, 90 days and even a year. Okay, you need to plan this out in advance. Now then you need to have regular measurement intervals. What this means, on a regular basis you track your progress. Okay, you track your progress, you know that it's working correctly on what you're doing right now. Sorry, it's like the people here are working a lot. I might look like I can change this step just now, my spot just now. Okay, let's wait a second, otherwise I'm screaming here. Okay, good. The second step is to set up specific measurement intervals, which means you want to know that you're on track with your goals, and therefore you need to set measurement intervals. Which the best KPI I found out for this is to have your weight set. Okay, you need to weigh yourself on a regular basis. And what I found out works best in my clients is to weigh yourself on a daily basis. So weigh yourself on a daily basis to make sure that you're on track to your goals. Now, if your goal is to bench press like 225 pounds 5 times, then obviously this should be your measurement stick. So you should measure your bench press strength when it comes to the 5 times max regularly. So you make sure that you're on point, that you're on track to your long-term goal. Okay, so it's the people here are moving, so it should be a little bit more calm in the future right here. This was step 2. So step 1 is to set clear goals, and step 2 is to regularly track your goals and make sure that you're on point. Because if you're a business owner, if you're a professional and you would not track, let's say for example, your leads or your sales, then frankly it's a recipe for failure. And the same thing is true in fitness. And what I tell a lot of my clients is simply to treat fitness and health as it is your business. So take it seriously, measure a lot of the stuff that you want to achieve, and ignore the noise that you currently see on the market, and focus only on what you really want to achieve in your pursuit of health and fitness. Step number 3 is to really become a master of your calories. And frankly, if you take a look at most results when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to building muscle, one of the biggest KPIs next to weight, KPIs by the way is a key performance indicator. One of the biggest key performance indicator next to your weight is your calories. Okay, which means when you want to lose weight, you need to consume less calories than your body actually needs. Then if you want to build muscle, you need to consume more calories than your body actually needs. So in both losing weight and in both building muscle, calories are a key component of your results that you will get in the gym. So make sure you're tracking your calories and really be a boss of tracking your calories. So this doesn't mean that you need to be in every day needs to be in a massive caloric deficit. What I found out is the best way, especially when you want to lose weight, like only when you want to lose weight, is between 500 and 1000 caloric deficit a day. Now this, like, you can have some days where you're even in a caloric surplus, when you eat more than you want, or when you eat like a Beyond Meat burger, for example. Now this is not something bad. What you have to make sure though is that you're in a deficit weekly. Calories are crucially freaking important, and if you're looking for a way to lose weight or to build muscle without while losing track of your calories, while ignoring completely your calories, you simply will not succeed, because this is really important. Okay, so step number 3 is to be a master of your calories and really making sure that you nail your caloric intake and you know exactly where you are with your calories at this moment in time. Because you want to know that you get closer to your goals. And the number 1 KPI, as said before, is what I use when it comes to my clients. I always take a look at their weight first. If the weight is not moving down as much as it should be at this moment in time, then what I do is I take a look at their calories. So it's the second line in order of defense, the second defense order. First is weight, because if the weight is moving, I'm not overcorrecting. If the weight is moving, I'm not overcorrecting, just let it be. And after that, it goes directly to the calories. And frankly, if the client is not tracking the calories, then that's usually one of the reasons why their weight is not moving down. Okay. Now, contrary to popular belief, like weight tracking, like calorie tracking, is not something very hard. Once you have your routine, which I would recommend you to be if you're a busy vegan professional or entrepreneur, you should have your routine in place, which means you should know what you should be eating, like, or what are you regularly eating on a daily basis. And the more routinized this is, and the more simple this is, the more likely is it that you're gonna reach your goals. So I'm not here saying that you should like follow crazy recipes to achieve your fitness results. In fact, if you take a look at almost all the athletes that I've ever came in contact with or that I've ever coached with, for example, Kai Alexander, the Ninja Warrior athlete, I mean, his calories or like his nutrition is very routinized. He essentially eats the same shit every single day. Okay, or maybe like the same shit every 2 days. Okay, he's alternating 2 days, and a shit ton of supplements because he's an athlete, but essentially like the same stuff, the same nutrition every single day. Why? Because he's not eating food for pleasure. He's eating food for results. And the same thing when it comes to achieving your goals. If you have this mindset, then you're gonna achieve your results, your goals that you have in the health and fitness way faster than if you would not have it. Okay, so this was step number 3. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to answer to your respond to your questions if you have any, so just put them here in the chat box. I'm just gonna go to the next point. I'll be online for about 10-15 more minutes, and then I'll just drop off here. So this is your chance of getting a free consultation with yours truly over YouTube. Okay, so step number 4, once you master your calories, once you set your goals and you know that you're on track, is to really master your microbiome. And one of the ways that I would describe this to you, for those that don't know what a microbiome is, it's essentially the bacterium colony that you have in your body, and it's concentrated heavily in your gut. So what you eat on a daily basis and your well-being, frankly, is heavily correlated with your microbiome, with your guts, with the bacteria that you have in your body. Frankly, if you take a look at the data, human beings are less humans than they are bacteria. So we have more bacterial DNA than we have human DNA, which is really damn fascinating. And the gut is considered the most biodense place on planet Earth. Okay, so there's so many bacteria on this place that it's considered the most biodense, so most amount of life on this amount of space. So that's really damn fascinating. So the worst thing that you should do when it comes to your diet is ignore this microbiome. And frankly, if you believe in macros only, bro, or just counting your macros and then eating all the shit that you want, you ignore your microbiome. So the days of macros only, bro, is over. What this means, you need to eat healthy. And especially what is important when it comes to your weight loss, especially, and also when you're trying to bulk some weight up, is to have enough fiber in your diet. Now, getting fiber from supplements is not the same as getting fiber through your food, because getting fiber through your food generally has a bigger effect on your satiety than getting fiber from a supplement. Also, the whole generally when it comes to nutrition is bigger than the sum of its parts. Okay, so you need to make sure that you eat healthy. I recommend strongly, and that's the software that I work with my clients. The software is called Chronometer, and I think most vegans already know that software because it gives you a broad overview, a very specific overview of what your nutrition entails. So which kind of amino acids, which kind of micronutrients, how much fiber does, for example, 1 cup of oatmeal have, or 1 banana. And it shows you the exact micronutrients that you have in place to achieve your goals. Because frankly, what you do not want to have, what's the worst case, frankly, on every diet, is that you lose your weight, you do all of this stuff, and then in the end you gain all your weight back and more. And frankly, that's usually the case of your microbiome, and that's usually the case if you did not eat healthy enough. Okay, so really make sure that you do not ignore your microbiome and that you do eat healthy on this journey. Okay, so do not ignore your microbiome. And the way you can see this is calories will make sure that you will lose your weight, and the microbiome and your healthy eating will make sure that you keep it off. Okay, and how pleasant your journey will be. So while the calories are the engine, while the calories are the fuel for your weight loss, the microbiome and the healthy eating is your steering wheel. So do not look for if it fits your macros kind of bullshit, because this will only keep your weight off in a very, very, very short time. Instead, look to cultivate healthy eating habits and make sticking to your nutrition effortlessly. But you will also find out that if you eat healthy on a daily basis in general, then you will have more performance in your business and your thinking will be way clearer and way sharper. Essentially, you will have more horsepower in what you're doing on a daily basis. So do not ignore your microbiome. Ignoring your microbiome is a recipe for disaster. Okay, so I have questions regarding my new recording methods. The new recording methods are like this because, like right now at this moment in time, I deal with a lot of clients, and frankly I had the choice of either like reducing my uploads on YouTube, because I'm really focusing a lot on just like giving a great service to my clients, to the entrepreneurs and professionals that I work with on a daily basis, or just reducing the time that I right now invest in YouTube. Because frankly, I used to edit the videos myself, used to upload it, everything myself, thumbnails, and I decided I would hire some people, but it was just like a true pain in the ass. That's why I just handheld right now. And I focus 100% on value, as you see in those videos, and frankly I enjoyed way more like this because it's 100% value and very, very little entertainment. Doesn't mean that it will always stay like this, but I enjoy it the most like this, so that's why it's the case. So let's jump to step number 5. So we had step number 1, set smart goals. Step number 2, make sure that you're on track with your goals. Step number 3, master your calories. Step number 4, don't forget your microbiome, master your microbiome. And step number 5 is to really exercise with maximum efficiency. Now this exercise part always comes after mastering your nutrition, after eating healthy. Why? Because frankly, nutrition will make up 90 to 95% of your fitness results, especially when you're trying to lose weight. Now, when you aim to build muscle, nutrition is not the sole factor. When you aim to build muscle, it's more about 60%, probably 60% fitness, weightlifting, 40% nutrition. But when you aim to lose weight, the vast majority of your success is nutrition. Okay, so if you're not in a caloric deficit by your nutrition, it's very hard to out-train it. And the way I usually give this example to my clients, if you only focus on exercising, frankly, then what you're doing is you try to stomp out the fire with one of your foot by pouring gasoline in it. It really doesn't work, okay? So frankly, nutrition is just a way bigger lever than exercise. And if you think about it, a 1000 caloric deficit is not easy, but it's quite simple to attain with your nutrition. A 1000 caloric deficit with your exercise is almost damn impossible. Okay, so you need to run about 20 kilometers to achieve a 1000 caloric deficit. And how much of us are running 20 kilometers every damn day? It's not that many. So I'm just telling you, like, if you're an ultra endurance athlete, it's probably gonna work. But otherwise, if you're a regular dude, if you're busy, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a professional, then frankly, your biggest lever when it comes to losing weight and getting in your best shape ever is your nutrition. Okay, but once you got these in track, you should treat your exercise like same like a business. Okay, bless you. Same like a business. So what this means: 3-hour workouts are not necessary when it comes to achieving your results, but 7-minute workouts 2 times a week are simply not them enough. Okay, you can even 7-minute workouts 7 times a week are simply not enough. Okay, so 3 hours too much, 7-minute workouts not enough. So 1 hour 2 to 3 times a week usually seems to be a good point to start with. Okay, to start with, depending on your goals. If you want to lose weight, then frankly it's 2 to 3 times is enough. If you want to build muscle, then you should go up to intensity or frequencies of about 5 to 6 times even, if you want to go to your best shape ever. Okay, so if muscle is the limiting factor, then even 5 to 6 times a week you can go to. okay? Now, is this optimal for the everyday person? No, it's not. But let's just imagine you've been training for 5 years, you think you've maximized all your genetic potential, then if you increase your frequency to 5 to 6 times a week will probably be the best to further increase your results, okay? Otherwise, if you're just starting out, if you don't have like huge goals, if you want to lose weight, for example, lose 20-30 pounds in the next 90 days, for example, then first, nutrition is your biggest lever, and then just exercise 2 and 3 times to have a healthy habit, which will also increase your digestion, so it will make everything way better, frankly. Just treat your gym like it is a business. And do not look for like short-term solutions to long-term problems, okay? So 7-minute workouts, I mean, I don't know who came up with that stuff, but frankly, it was just a guy that probably was looking to deceive some people when it comes and give them like a false sense of effectiveness when it comes to achieving their fitness goals. Frankly, if it would work, I would tell you that you should do this, but according to the science that we have right now, it doesn't work. It's not enough to produce a caloric deficit, a significant one. It's not enough to produce a stimulus when it comes to muscle growth. So really treat your exercise seriously, but only after you've mastered your nutrition. So let me know if you have any questions, just post it right here. Hey Colin, nice that you guys are jumping on here. I'm at step number 5. I just finished step number 5. So step number 1 is to set clear goals with the SMART framework. Step number 2, make sure regularly that you're on track with your goals. With my client, I track their progress every damn day. Step number 3, be a master of your calories. Step number 4, don't ignore your microbiome, so eat healthy. And step number 5 is to really master your exercise, okay? And really treat this seriously, really treat this like it's your business, for example, or your craft, or the passion that you love, okay? So that's what you should be doing. Michael Jordan, when asked how do you get really good at your job or at playing basketball, he's like, fall in love with the game. He said, fall in love with the game. And what this means is really treating the exercise and the craft seriously, and not falling in love with the byproducts of the game, but falling in love with what you're actually doing. Now, this is very hard to do. I mean, I struggle with falling in love with just like going to the gym. I mean, it's also not really pleasant for me, but I really like to have this feeling of going in there, getting it done, and afterwards really feeling great that you've done it. So try as much as you can to fall in love with the process itself. Step number 6. Now, this is a hard one to do for most people, is to commit fully to one course of action and block out all the other advice that you're currently seeing. One of the biggest mistakes, and this is the reason why so many people are not losing as much pounds as their wishes should be, why so many people are not gaining as much muscle, because you're conflicted with so much noise that you can't hear the signal properly. And frankly, like when you take a look at YouTube, there are a couple thousand fitness channels on there. And probably even in the vegan niche, there are like a couple 100 fitness channels on there. When you take a look at Google, you know, when you factor in blogs, for example, you have another couple thousand in there. And all of those guys, they're bombarding you with certain signals. They're bombarding you, okay, you need to have this supplement to reach your goals. You need to do this to reach your goals. You need to follow this diet to reach your goals. You need to follow this to reach your goals. I need to follow 7-minute workouts. You already know right now that I'm not a huge fan of it. But yeah, the thing is, what I see is crippling a lot of people is that you, when it comes to your fitness and health, a lot of people suffer from some sort of ADHD. So you jump from one stuff to the next, back. Now just imagine if you would change your profession, if you change your business every month that you're working on it. I mean, it wouldn't take it wouldn't make any sense, okay? Let's imagine the first month, like in January, you're working in construction. Then February, you're working as a painter. Then March, you're working as a fitness coach. I mean, it doesn't make sense, okay? So really make sure that you follow one course of action. And frankly, if you have a good trainer, if you have a good online coach, if you have a good personal trainer, then what the personal trainer, frankly, or the online coach should make sure that you follow a good process, and then you just stick to this for at least 90 days. At least 90 days, okay? The reason why the low carb diet or the keto diet is so damn cool, like trendy nowadays, is simply because in the first week you lose a shit ton of water weight, because carbohydrates bind to water in your body. So you lose like about 2 kilos in the first week, or 3 kilos in the first week. Now, does this mean that this is fat? No, it isn't. But the reason people stick to it afterwards, to the keto diet, is simply because they think they originally lost some weight. But then after 2 weeks, if they see that they gained the weight back, or it was just water, there's no difference in the mirror, like in the body picture, they would just switch diets again. Now, I'm saying keto is not a good diet. It's not a good diet to follow in general. It's not a good lifestyle to have, in my opinion. Simply, if you take a look at the science of your brain needs to have about 100 to 130 grams of carbohydrates every single day to function properly. So it's, in my opinion, it's not the best diet. But frankly, what kills more people, what kills the success of more people more than just like following an insufficient diet, is constantly jumping from one diet, from one trainer to the next. And some of my clients have went through like 2 or 3 personal trainers. Now, judging by the industry, could also be some morons, you know, some personal trainers that simply are not any good, okay? And that's frankly, I mean, I can understand. But what I can say is one of the reasons also that you're not reaching your results at this moment in time is simply because you're jumping from one fad to the next. And usually, if you're reading Men's Health, if you're a fan of like this fitness magazines, then you usually fall prey to this. You're the perfect prey for this, simply because these magazines, the way they work is that if they do not provoke a certain emotion, if they do not provoke a certain amount of like even temporary change, they would not be in business. Okay, they always come up with this new fancy method, which just gives you a new way of trying to lose your weight, but doesn't really work. So simply stick to one course of action. Make sure that this one course of action, make sure you follow one personal trainer, one online coach. If right now you're listening to about 20 or 30 vegan fitness coaches, I would recommend you to unsubscribe to 29 of those, or maybe 28 of those, and just have 2 there. Okay, same as if you want to achieve financial success, if you want to have a nice career, the last thing you should do is to follow 30 people on YouTube. That's what I do. That's what I did, you know. And since I just started like cutting down on everyone and just follow like one guy, which I thought really had his shit together, finally the results came in. So you need to commit fully to one course of action. First, you need to do your due diligence. You need to know that this one course of action, this one person is actually really legit. And once you commit to this one course of action, commit to it at least for 90 days. If you follow a diet, if you follow a lifestyle, I'm not a fan of diets, if you follow a lifestyle that is right for you, commit to it for at least 90 days. Because in the first week or so, you will likely not see a massive transformation. But 90 days is enough for you to see a massive transformation. That's, by the way, why I work with my clients in a 90-day fashion. Okay, because 90 days is enough to create a massive transformation. Okay, at least stick to it to 90 days. If you drop off earlier, then frankly, it's not the process that failed. Yeah, maybe it's the process because the guy that created the process for you should make some changes to it, but it's likely a fault in your mindset because you didn't stick to it to 90 days. So let me know if you have any questions right here. Yeah, coronavirus. I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting topic. I didn't read too much about it. Could be worse. Could be way better. I don't know. But yeah, certainly right now we have more deaths for accidents or like heart disease. So yeah, I don't know what to think about it. Just hope that it probably is not as bad as the media tells it is, and it's almost always not as bad as the media tells it is. So we had 7 steps so far. Step number one, set smart goals. Step number 2, making sure that you have regular measurement sticks. Step number 3, master your calories because your nutrition is the biggest lever on your fitness results. Step number 4, master your microbiome. Step number 5, take your exercise seriously. And step number 6, follow one course of action. Now step number 7, and this is crucially important, and I only really found this out at the beginning of this year, when I was quite struggling to say like in my business, because I focused on like 20, 30 different advice, and people told me, oh, you should be on Snapchat. People told me, oh, you should be on Instagram. All those different stuff. And this other guy, oh, you should invest in real estate. And this other guy, oh, you should have a big team. And at the beginning of this year, frankly, I started cutting down on all the advice that I was hearing and just followed one person. Which told me, hey, focus on the essential, focus on the thing that just gives you the most results, and make your product, make your coaching really good. And that's frankly what I'm doing at this moment in time. So I didn't have 0 results before, but frankly I had way less results than I had before I took just one advice from this one person, before I just followed one course of action. And what I did, I invested in mentorship, and I learned from a person that has actually done it, and frankly, which I think is the best in the world at doing this, okay? And the same should you. I know if you're a busy vegan entrepreneur, if you're a busy professional, you probably achieved some sort of success in your life. And this is great. I mean, props on you. But you also need to know that at one point in time, it's simply time for you to search advice. Okay, you cannot do everything your own. If you take a look at the Fortune 500 CEOs, so the biggest CEOs when it comes to biggest companies, 500 companies, almost universally, they all have a coach. I'm working right now with a big public figure in the vegan niche. He's a speaker, he's an activist for PETA, he used to be a TV host, an awesome guy. I don't want to mention him publicly just right here, but this guy, he has a coach for his business, he has a coach for his life, and he has a coach for his fitness right now, which is me, okay? So three coaches. Usually the more advanced these people are, the more they want to get out of life, the more coaches, the more mentors they have. Because frankly, if you think that you achieve your goals on your own, why have you not achieved them until now? Frankly, why have you not achieved them until now? And you really should ask yourself right now, what is the price of not doing this? Because frankly, on every positive change, we face resistance, okay? And the resistance usually comes in form of, oh, the coach will cost me this, the gym will cost me this, the health nutrition will cost me this, the supplements will cost me this. But we never stop to think about what will it cost to not do this. And I can tell you what it will cost to not do this, is to frankly always living in a body that you know that you don't deserve to live in. Okay, because your body, maybe you're overweight at this moment in time, maybe you do not have as much muscle, and you're looking in the mirror and you feel that this is not the body that you want to have, and that really sucks, because I had this feeling a couple of years ago before I started this fitness journey. Okay, so really make sure the price of not doing this is living in a body that you do not want to be in. It's not having as much confidence as you wish you would have, simply because of this number one point, because you live in a body that you think that you do not want to live in. Step number 3, you don't have as much energy. Step number 4, you don't have as much focus as you wish you should have, simply because you didn't buckle down, and you didn't ask yourself, what is the price of not doing this? And if you put this to the extreme, the price of not doing this is a knee surgery. Twice. Price of this is $80,000. It's a bypass surgery. Yes, even vegans, that's less likely, but if you're constantly eating junk food, if you're really overweight, then this is the price of not doing this. It's a bypass surgery. Cost of a bypass surgery, $80,000. So really ask yourself, what is the price of not doing this? Okay? Today, I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself, what if I'm not doing this? And frankly, the price of not doing this is almost universally way higher than the price of doing this. So really, you have to invest in mentorship. If you would go to Fiji, if you try to go, like let's imagine you would go to an awesome vacation to a Fiji, it's a deserted island, would you go there by your own? Would you jump in the sea and just try to swim to Fiji, and you don't really know where it is, and just like, okay, let's just jump in the sea and swim like in the ocean? No, it wouldn't make any sense. It wouldn't make any sense. Like sometimes we have this feeling that we should do everything our own, and that we should just know everything without consulting for advice. And frankly, this is not true. What you would do if you would aim to go to Fiji is you would charter a plane. You would buy a ticket to a plane, learn from somebody who is really good at doing this, like a pilot, okay, or just fly in this plane to your destination. because there are two options that you have when it comes to this. Number one, you can learn everything on your own. And this is frankly what I did. I had some mentors on my path, but it took me 5 to 10 years in total to learn this. Okay, and a couple $10,000, and I wasted the same amount of stupid supplements, and frankly I wasted through those 5 years. Instead, if I just found a mentor back then, like when it comes to the career also, like I would have hired a mentor way earlier, simply because it helps you really get clear, and it's a shortcut to results. And frankly, if you are in business right now, if you're a professional, if you're a business owner, even if you're really busy, frankly, the best way you can do is just hire a mentor at this moment in time, because it would take too much time figuring this out on your own, to be frank. Okay, so I think the best option that you have at this moment in time, if you're a vegan and if you're a busy vegan entrepreneur and professional, that's why this video is called like this, because I'm calling out directly to you, then I think I'm your best option. Frankly, because I've worked with 128 vegans, probably more than this, because I have some new clients in the last couple of days. In the last couple of years, I helped them achieve the results. My success rate is almost 10 times the industry standard. So it's really good. And we have an absolute great service that will achieve your results and is directly tailored to your needs. Because the last thing you want, frankly, is following a process that is inherently flawed. Is following a process for somebody that doesn't know what your needs are as a busy vegan entrepreneur. And I think I know what your needs are. Your needs are just to get there as quickly as possible with as little taxation of your time and energy as humanly possible. Okay, this is a common denominator that I've seen in all of my busy clients. They want to achieve their results with as little taxation of energy and time as possible, because you do not want to lose sight of your business. If you think that you're a great fit for this coaching, because I only work with 24 people at a time. I only want to work with 24 people at a time, because frankly, then the success rate is simply way higher, and I can focus 100% on giving you results. If you want to work with me, I put a link down here. It's a qualitygains.com/apply, and you can get a free 45-minute strategy session for me to know if you're a good fit for this coaching. Because frankly, if you're not a good fit for this coaching, I will not work with you, simply because I think maybe I will not give you results. Maybe I will not give you results, because frankly, if I know that I cannot give you results, then I will not work with you, because it will not be funny. It will not be funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the money if it will not give you results. So I put a link in here. It's qualitygains.com/apply. I will let it there. If you think that this is a good fit for you, if you think I know my stuff, then just go over there, schedule a free strategy session with me. If I think you're a good fit, I will give you an option to sign up with me in the end, but the 45 minutes are mainly focused on just diagnosing your situation like a doctor and making sure where you're currently stuck, really finding out where you're stuck with your fitness results and what you're doing good, and then just focus on a proven blueprint so you achieve your goals in the fastest way that is humanly possible, with the least taxation of your energy and your time. Okay, so it's qualitygains.com/apply. I'm just gonna check right now if you have any more questions. Otherwise, I will jump off in the next 2 minutes. If you have a question, just post it in here in the chat box. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, I do the QG vegan somewhat twice a week. Classic year fun. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining on here. This was the simple 7-step process that you need to do to achieve your best shape on a vegan diet, and frankly you have the most horsepower that you know yourself to be to achieve other goals in your life that are maybe more important to you, like your business goals, like your goals in your personal life. If you want to work with me, if you really want to hone in on this step number 7 that I just talked about before, and you want to work with me personally, then go to qualitygains.com/apply, and they're really going to help you to get to your best shape in as fast as they possibly can, and fast as humanly possibly, and with as least taxation of your time and energy as possible. So guys, thank you for tuning in, and I wish you guys a nice day. Until next time.